Hi everyone and welcome back to the Focal Plane podcast. Now today I have a very special guest, Venessa Alexander, who is part of the team behind the Horsham Tap Vine event this September. Now in that event there's going to be local Sussex beers, wines and ciders brought to 17 venues across the town. Now look, as tasty as that all sounds, I'm more interested in finding out the ideas behind it, the whys, the wherefores, building communities and supporting local businesses. So Venessa, thank you so much for coming on today.
No problem.
Excellent. Look, tell us a little bit about you. So where have you come from, Venessa, into all of this? Your story before the Tap Vine, before I know we've worked with Firebird Brewery for a few years as well.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about you.
Okay, so I moved to Horsham about 11 years ago.
Yeah.
My background is actually destination marketing. So I had my own business working for a number of overseas tourist boards promoting destinations. So that,
Sure.
That is what I know and what I love.
Okay. Yeah.
In COVID, I had already decided to wind the business down because after 21 years, I'd had enough of it.
Fine. I think you're allowed that, yeah.
And I kind of was a bit of a loose end as to what to do. So I actually retrained as a fitness instructor and a personal trainer. So I do a bit of fitness instructing.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine in Rudgwick had told me that Firebird were looking for someone to help with their sales and marketing, and that he thought I would be the perfect person. So that was a 6 weeks that turned into 3 years or so. So that's...
Did you pass your probation?
I passed my probation. Okay. I mean, I never really actually had a contract, but,
maybe they realised,
it's a rolling
actually.
thing. Very casual rolling thing.
Nice.
So I was charged with increasing their sales and getting the name out. And what I absolutely loved was working for a local business. It really, I don't know, there was something special about it. I'd never done anything like that before. You feel like you're making a difference in your own village and in the greater area around you. You're getting to meet interesting people. So I really enjoyed it.
So, and of all the things you just mentioned, so when you started working for a local business, you talked about some things that were different that you hadn't experienced before that you really enjoyed. Any one thing that really stuck out to you or that's really kind of burned in your mind?
I mean, I think it was just making a difference to Firebird was my, let's get their sales increased and let's solidify their presence in Horsham.
Sure.
And that's what I like to think. I always think I'm not a salesperson, but actually innately I am a salesperson because I'm very motivated by that sort of success. Okay. It's not really the money of the sales. It's getting people engaged and buying off us and then looking at creative ways in which to sell the beer.
Yeah, and Firebird, I mean, just from a personal perspective, right? Like, I now see it everywhere.
Yeah,
so
that was the plan.
Yeah, I mean, just yesterday, I was just editing some shots from the Horsham Battle of the Bands that took place in the Nature Garden, and across it comes a shot that I've just taken of a Firebird, like, bar mat, bar rug. It is just everywhere now.
Yeah.
So is that the journey that you've taken on for the last few years? Is that your success for you?
I mean, it definitely was. It was. Yeah. It was also about moving the brewery itself forward. Slightly new ideas, rotating line of limited edition beers, getting the trade to a trade night every year. Engaging more with our local industry. I think there was a bit of a gap there.
Sure.
Ultimately, people want to do business with people. And what I don't know anything about the pub trade. Literally had no idea. So I think maybe what worked was I went in and didn't particularly talk about beer. I was quite interested in what people, what their stories are. And, it worked. And also doing what you say you're going to do and following up. Yeah. And ultimately a very good product. So
brilliant.
It was a win-win-win-win.
That's fantastic. And that seems to tie in very nicely with the whole idea of the Tap Vine event, right?
Yeah.
So now this is the second year that it's running. Yeah. And of course, last year, the inaugural celebration of local produce, businesses, our venues that are in and around town. And it was quite a weekend. It spanned across from, the Friday night all the way until a Sunday that weekend in September.
Yeah.
So where did this all come from now? Tell me a bit about the idea behind it, because I know that you kind of masterminded a lot of that.
Yeah, I have an eye on what Worthing is doing because they've got a very good independent, not independent beer scene, but the venues. There's a lot of independent venues down there.
Sure.
And they have a the Worthing Tap Takeover every April, and they actually had 20 venues involved last year, and they have breweries from around the country come in and take over the taps from those venues. And I'm thinking, on a smaller scale, I feel that Horsham can do something like this. There's no reason why Horsham can't do anything like this. And also, we need to be celebrating Sussex products. I'm not interested in nationwide products. So let's bring Sussex beer, wine and cider into Horsham for the weekend. And also let's showcase some of our fantastic venues to people that wouldn't necessarily be in some of those venues, or visit some of those venues. So, it was a bit of a slog getting it off the ground because I'm just me. It wasn't Firebird that was paying for Tap and Vine.
Sure.
So we had to get Horsham District Council on board, and then we got your Horsham on board, Visit Horsham, a major partner, and Firebird, and we crawled our way into Tap and Vine last year and had no idea really how it was going to go. And it was really good. It was, we had, I think, 2,000 passports we gave out, and we had 1,000 trail passports handed in. So people were definitely engaged with the process. So we were all really pleased about it.
That's fantastic. And then just, you mentioned something as you were talking there about, you sort of, you used the word like a need for this in Horsham, or that sort of a phrase.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What do you mean? So where was the need for it?
It's not necessarily a need. It's just, I felt that there are a lot of venues that even I wouldn't normally drink in for whatever reason, because you always have your favourites, don't you? You just, that's where I feel comfortable.
Feet just takes you somewhere, exactly. Right?
And there is a ton of venues in Horsham. And what was great about last year was I was walking around and chatting to people that had the passports open, and so many people were, well, we'd never come in here before. This is great. We didn't even know. So I'd say the need is to expand possibly people's horizons into the fantastic hospitality scene we've actually got in Horsham. I'm a relative newbie to this town. I've only been here 11 years, but I love it. I think it's a fantastic town.
It is ironically about the same time I've been here as well.
Right.
And there's so much going on that I'm still discovering. I mean, the fact that you've got 17 venues. I mean, actually, we'd probably be here all day if you asked me to name 17 venues in Horsham, albeit I know there's 17 plus. But like you say, there's some that you just kind of know, or you gravitate towards, you feel comfortable in. But here's now an opportunity to now see places that you would just kind of have your blinkers on and not look at side by side, because it's just not in your radar.
Exactly.
And suddenly now there's a reason to actually go into them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's fantastic.
I think the other thing is important to say that we've expanded it to venues more outside of the town centre this year.
Sure.
Simply because, there's a lot of good venues that are not right in the town centre that rely a lot on locals trade. And sometimes are struggling because there's a lot going on in the town centre, and it was important to have them on the trail. So I'm delighted that there's these extra venues, a lot of them are outside of the town centre.
That's great. I think getting some more awareness for them is brilliant, because I imagine there are a lot of people who may have heard the names of these places, but perceive them to be somewhere else. Or a bit further out, or it's not in the main bit of Carfax or around West Street, East Street, etc. So, but actually, I reckon many will be surprised. Actually, I could actually still walk over there.
Exactly.
I could go to Brolly. It's actually not that far away. Or I could, these sorts of places that aren't right in the midst of what you see. Getting them on board and having that real community vibe to it is amazing.
Well, I think hospitality is hard right now. And anything that can be done to help out venues, let's do it. Let's work as a community and do it. For sure. Let's help them out.
I mean, what was it? You mentioned some numbers there last year. 2,000 passports given out, 1,000 people that had handed them in and completed that trail. Was there anything that really surprised you about last year, apart from just the engagement? Anything that you took away from it? Any learnings from it?
I think the fact that so many people did the trail, for starters. And people were really, we are doing this trail and we're coming back tomorrow. We weren't going to come back into Horsham tomorrow, but we're going to do it. Last year we had a pop-up tap room in the Carfax, which that's the first time the 3 breweries have worked together like that, which was fantastic. And also just chatting to people that are now still saying, this pub is my regular now, and I didn't even ever go in there before last year's Tap and Vine.
Didn't even know it was a pub. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it's about.
Wonderful. And what this is we're talking about collaboration here between lots of different businesses.
Yeah.
So that are traditionally competing against each other,
Yeah.
right? Let's just face facts.
Yeah.
That is how it is.
Yeah.
But clearly now here's a real benefit of collaborating. Have you had people come to you either from the businesses themselves or involved in the businesses to give you some feedback around that, or tell you how it's been or how well that's worked for them or what it's done for them?
I mean, we had a wrap up last year.
Sure.
And I think the other nice thing about Horsham is that all the venues know each other very well. They all wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
Basically. The venues were delighted. They didn't feel they were in competition, particularly on Tap and Vine, because there's a trail.
Yeah.
So it works. It's harmony.
So, and you've had this growth now of the number of venues. So last year there was 12 venues, now there's 17.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of the newbies that have come on board?
Yeah. So we've got the two breweries, Horsham Brewery and Brolly Brewing, that were with us in the Carfax last year.
Sure.
Really, when I first had the idea was all about independent breweries, and tap rooms. So if we're expanding it out, can we please put your venues, rather than you bring your beer in, let's have your venues on the trail.
Yeah.
The other new venue two new venues outside of the bid area or the town centre are the Dog and Bacon. And actually the Malt Shovel is outside of the town centre, would you believe?
Yeah.
Outside of
if you say so.
I mean, when I say the town centre, I'm talking about the business improvement district.
Yeah, sure. Which is quite well defined.
Yes, very well defined. Yeah. So those are the new venues that have come on.
Brilliant.
Yeah, outside of the bid area.
And and tell us again. So this year, I know that there's going to be each venue, each pub is going to be doing something to kind of mark that occasion as well over that weekend. What sort of things could people be looking forward to? Right,
so we've got a lot of live music going on. We've got some of the venues that are doing Meet the Brewers or Meet the Vineyard Owner. We've got one that is doing a cuvee and champagne, paint and cuvee afternoon, I think it is.
Very nice.
Yeah. We've got a Shoot the Hoops going on, one of the venues. All sorts of... one of the venues is also doing a great thing, which is a spin the wheel. If you buy one of the drinks that are being promoted and you spin the wheel and you land on free drink, you don't pay.
I call shenanigans,
Another really nice thing about what's happening is I'm going to just say the Red Deer.
Yeah.
They're doing a charity quiz the week after Tap and Vine for Horsham Matters.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
And they are saying that anyone that is involved in Tap and Vine that's done the trail, if they prove they're on the trail, they get a £15 bar tab for the quiz the following week. So to me, this is just a fantastic example of how the whole thing comes full circle. Yeah. It's exactly what we're trying to achieve. I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, hats off to the Red Deer for even coming up with that idea. It's all to benefit, ultimately, the town, which is what Tap and Vine is about. So, And
I think a lot of people don't appreciate that. Like I myself included wasn't actually aware of just how much this benefits just the wider community.
Yeah.
Because there is, of course, naturally there's a focus on the beers, the wines, the ciders, etc. And great, seeing lots of venues, which is all brilliant, by the way. I don't want to take anything away from that. But there's so much more. It's so much bigger. It's so much around this idea that the Red Deer have had to help out Horsham Matters by actually helping out people who've participated, contributed. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
and because it's keeping it so well local to the community, people, friendly faces that we know, we understand, that we want to help support.
Yeah,
so that's an amazing thing.
Yeah,
yeah. What a great thing to offshoot from that.
Really, really pleased with that idea. Yeah. So this year was new. We said, right, everyone needs to have some sort of signature event.
Yeah.
And everyone stepped up to the plate with something. Because we've also got a market in town both days. And on the Sunday, it's the Big Nibble.
Yes, that's right.
Which is being reintroduced by Horsham District Council.
Yes.
And there is a chef's kitchen. So we are going to try and get some of the beer, wine and ciders involved in some of the recipes that those chefs are cooking. So there's, again, a fantastic reason to come into Horsham again on the Sunday.
Fantastic. I may be misremembering, but I think last year, because they had the Sussex Six,
yes,
which is now kind of renamed as the Big Nibble, right?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure there were some fish finger sandwiches. There may have been beer batter. There may have been. I may be misremembering.
I don't know, because I actually had to go to a wedding.
Oh, well, there you go.
Last year, so I missed the Sunday completely. So I'm here for the entire.
I could just say anything then. Actually,
you can.
And there were dinosaurs, and a big dragon came down and set fire to the beer mine, and everyone panicked. No, that didn't happen. Yeah, so but hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
actually having that integration there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. So what have we talked about some of the things that we can maybe look forward to in the venues themselves, but talk us through the whole weekend. So is there going to be a similar thing as there was last year, a Friday unofficial late going on?
No, that was mega complicated because the Friday lates are so popular. They had no idea how that was going to pan out.
Sure.
So there was a lot of very time-consuming risks assessments. Roads had to be closed, and it wasn't nearly as big, and it wasn't supposed to be nearly as big as a Friday late. We decided, actually, what we're trying to do is get people moving around venues.
Yeah.
So let's not do that this year.
Yeah.
So it starts on Friday morning. You can pick up your passport from any venue, and you can actually drop it in at any venue.
Okay.
You can buy a non-alcoholic drink if you want to as one of your drinks, and off you go. There's a big prize draw. And every stamp you get a stamp at every venue. Every stamp is one entry into the prize draw. So you manage 9 venues, you get 9 entries into the prize draw.
That's a pretty good way of doing it.
Yeah.
So then there's not that pressure to actually...
I mean, when I was trying to film all of these venues with Visit Horsham, we realised that this was actually quite a
task. Your steps in just to do that.
And, we don't want to put people off.
Yeah, of course.
So this seemed the fairest way of doing it.
That's a great way of doing it because, like you say, it does mean that everyone can get involved and be within a chance of actually, getting something out of it, irrespective of whether they've gone to all 17 or just a few.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. So anything that you're particularly looking forward to? I know you've mentioned a few things already, but is there anything that you're really looking forward to seeing how it pans out, either in any of the venues or anything that's going across the weekend?
I mean, both breweries are brewing new beers for this event. So quite looking forward to tasting those because I love beer. I mean, there's just so much to choose from. There's live DJ at the Green Dragon.
Nice.
I'd quite like to try and shoot some hoops at Beer Mine on Sunday afternoon. I don't know. I mean, I'll be out all weekend.
Excellent.
Stocking up passports, but
of course, just
working,
that, right?
Working. So I don't know. I'm excited to go to the new venues as well, also there's some venues that I don't regularly go to, so it'd be quite nice to go into those.
Brilliant. And so you mentioned that people can pick up those passports from any venue.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm trying to work this out. So if one person had a passport, is that tagged to a person, or can you share it around events?
You can share.
Okay.
Okay,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So with all this, Venessa, we talked about some brilliant things that are going on this year that have already expanded from last year, right? But where's all this going? So this is the second year now of Tap Vine. What's your bigger vision around this? You talked to me a little bit about how you kind of wanted to integrate this into the town anyway.
Yeah.
But where do you see this going?
I mean, the thing about Tap Vine is that it's on top of everyone's day job. I think people don't realise there is actually quite a lot of work behind the scenes going into this, and it's an additional project for people. I am juggling 17 venues, which is quite a handful. So, I mean, it would be great to make it bigger. It would be great to possibly run a little bus service around to the outer venues.
You listening, Metrobus?
It would be great to make the Sunday market huge. That, we are bringing Sussex into Horsham for a weekend. Let's go for it, is what I say. Let's bring as many breweries, wineries, cider houses, and food producers into the town as we possibly can. watch this space. It all needs funding as well. You know, we're lucky to have funding from all 4 partners this year. But who's to say next year we will have that funding? We don't charge the venues anything. You know, this is quite a substantial social media campaign going on as well. So ideally, grow it a bit. But until we see how it goes, who knows?
But I guess what you're demonstrating though is, you know, even if we're just comparing this, you know, this year that hasn't happened yet technically, but it's going to be soon. The big success that last year was, it's a huge win-win for anyone to get involved.
Exactly.
Like massively. Like if you get people coming in, you talk about having a huge market on Sunday, you talk about having different local food producers coming in. It seems to me like I'm obviously not in that world. I don't run those businesses, but it seems to me like a bit of a no-brainer. I
totally agree. I totally agree. I don't know why a venue wouldn't want to get involved in this. I mean, really, all they want to do is find a producer, have 2 wines or 2 ciders or 2 beers on, and post a bit of social media, and we do everything else. So you know, they make of it what they want. So you know, some venues are going for it with meeting brewers and meeting cider producers. Brilliant. And I think that's great because the more engagement we get, the better.
Absolutely. And because you're keeping it so local, like you like you said right at the beginning, your idea was, I'm not interested in actually what's going on nationwide necessarily for this sort of an event. I want to keep it to Sussex, to Horsham, because there's so much to celebrate. And we just don't know. And it's under our noses, it's in front of our eyes. But
many wineries locally, so many wineries and so many breweries. And cider is coming up as well. There's more and more, you know, places, cider houses, cideries. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know what they're called. A special apple presses. Yes.
Let's see what's out there.
Fantastic.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool, Venessa. So more about you though. So where's Venessa Alexander going now? So we've talked about Tap and Vine for a little while, but what about you? Where are your ambitions taking you?
I would like to stay involved working locally. I'm working for Firebird on this project, but I'm not working for Firebird in any other capacity. I'd quite like to get involved with Horsham Football Club, community club. They need help, volunteer help, you know, any way they can. I don't know. I like to be creative. I like to link people together. Partnerships is what I'm all about, you know, for the greater good. And you learn things as well. I mean, that's what I like about partnership marketing. You always learn stuff off other people.
I mean, you've shown how universal that is, right? Like you were saying before, when you came into working with Firebird, you knew nothing of that industry.
No.
But the commonalities that drive us all together, the partnership working, the understanding people's stories and understanding what's driving us.
Yeah, exactly. What's important to people, you know, how to maximise the benefit of working together, shared expertise, shared resource. Everyone can do with any help they can get right now, I think. And it's just really important for businesses to work together.
100%. I don't know if this is just a perspective from what I'm seeing because of how I'm involved in the photography space, but it feels to me that the last few years, there's been a real big upsurge in collaborative working, in businesses coming together. Like, I think for the first time ever, I went to Horsham Football Club a few years ago. You know, I've been lived in Horsham for about 11 years. I didn't even know where the stadium was until a few years ago. And it's just, why? Why is that? Like, I mean, is it me being ignorant, or is it that there's something a little bit disconnected that is now starting to really come to fruition?
There's a buzz about this town, I'd say. And things like Horsham Football Club, because they've also had success. And, you know, there's a load of people working really hard as volunteers at that club. And you know, the successes obviously help, but they get good crowds, and it's just, this is our tribe almost, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. But I guess instead of there being pockets of tribes, it's now bringing it in together as one big thing,
absolutely,
right? Which is fantastic to see, because you're right, absolutely. You know, Horsham Football Club had the promotion last season. They were went far in the FA Cup before that, and all of that created a bit of a buzz. So certainly that started to put them on the map, but there's no reason that it has to be, like you say, for those specific reasons. Because think about all the people behind that and everything else that's going on in Horsham that just kind of put their blood, sweat and tears into it day in, day out. That needs to be appreciated. And they're doing it because they want people to see how wonderful the space is, how great the town is, how great the local businesses are. So I wonder, I mean, you've got a great idea with the Tap and Vine and some of the things that you've been doing, but I just wonder what other opportunities there might be to help solidify that and really stop there being, pockets. Maybe it's just my perception, maybe it's not like that really, but it certainly felt like that at one point.
Yeah.
And I wonder what we can do to kind of help just build and build and build on that momentum.
I mean, that's a tricky question. It's like more stuff like this, more collaborative efforts.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything specific at the moment, but as long as people are talking to each other and then you see that little opportunity and someone goes, oh, I can help with that, and people that don't normally talk to each other start talking to each other. I mean, there's a lot of actual networking groups that are going on in town as well.
Yeah, there's loads.
I genuinely feel that businesses in this town, and other towns might be the same, but I live here, so I only know about here.
Yes.
Genuinely want to help each other. And what I love about this town is that if I bring friends here, they go, God, it's amazing. So much, there's such a buzz. There's so many people out and about eating and drinking. There's so many people out at the market. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise this huge cricket club has a huge beer garden. Amazing. There's always a surprise in the town. And you're right, people are working really hard. I think also what makes Horsham quite unique is that our venues, if they close, they reopen. How many hospitality venues are actually reopening because there's people in hospitality here that are devoted to the cause.
Yes.
And
we've seen numerous examples of that recently, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I love. They're working that hard. Let's try and help them. Let's just try and match people together and see what we can do.
I wonder now, just reflecting on what you've been saying, I wonder if, you spoke about how there's so many networking groups, there's all these different, businesses coming together, genuinely wanting to work with each other and help each other. One thing that I notice, if I could walk into town right now, and I bet I will see people that I recognize.
Yes.
That are connected either to businesses, venues, other community organizations. And there's something really uniquely special about that. It's like Horsham is both big and small enough for that to make sense.
Yeah.
And actually you feel as part of a bigger community, a wider community. And that happens every time I walk into town. Every single time. It'll be like, oh yeah, I recognize that guy or girl from this or that. Let's have a quick chat.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen in a place where there isn't any of that cohesion.
I think a big help in this regard is Visit Horsham, actually, and the amount that they put on social media, because there's things I just go, I didn't even know that. No. I had no idea. That's interesting. There's a matcha bar. I didn't know that. There's stuff, and they really, really help. They work hard, those guys. And they do a lot of good for this town. Yes. And that shouldn't be underestimated, because I think sometimes they put some posts up and they get ridiculous comments, and you think, God,
hey man, that's social media for you. There you go, right?
Leave them alone. They're just trying to do their best for the town.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I challenge anyone watching this moment right now, just go onto their Facebook page and you will see, I guarantee, I put money on this right now, that at this very moment, you will see 1, 2, 3 posts just from today, yesterday, and you will see something that you will learn. You'll see something that will educate you.
Yeah.
That you didn't know.
I think it's also, it's quite unique again, what they do for the town.
Yeah.
That draws people together. Hugely. Because you're going to
Yeah.
see something that interests you and go, right, I wonder if I reached out to them, we could do this together.
Yeah.
It all helps.
Massively. And I said this before, I forget who I was speaking to. I think it's when I was speaking with Shaka from Horsham Sports Club. When I first came to Horsham and I was trying to learn about the town, I used Visit Horsham as my linchpin to go, right, well, what is there? What isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, they have their website, they've got their events pages that are always up to date with everything that's going on. And it was just a little Bible to go, great, here's what I can explore, here's what I didn't know about, etc. And they maintain that, and it keeps growing and growing and growing because of how involved they get. And how lucky we are as a community to have that.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of their reels get, tens of thousands of views.
They really blow up. Yeah.
So, no, good for them. I mean, really, really work hard, those guys. They deserve it.
Fantastic. Excellent. So, Vanessa, just as a parting parting thing to say, what would you want? One message for everyone to hear from today's podcast?
Come to Horsham for Tap Vine for starters. But, you know, Horsham is a great town with a lot of business synergy. It's a happy place, and support your local hospitality venues because, you know, they can do with the help.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. That's a great message to have. And I absolutely 100% stand behind that. Brilliant. Vanessa, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And hey, look, looking forward to it from the 4th to the 6th of September to 2026.
Yep.
You know where to be. Not at a wedding.
Not at a wedding this year, no. Don't worry, I'll be here. You'll see me.
Fantastic. Excellent. Guys, well, look, I hope you've been as inspired as I have by Vanessa today. And please do check out the socials on the Tap and Vine on Facebook and also on Instagram. And please do visit Horsham, who are always raving about this event as well. Do check out your Horsham and look out for other events on Horsham District Council's page as well, including the Big Nibble that's coming up on that weekend. But otherwise, guys, really good to see you. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.